Hey friends! So I wanted to talk to you today a little bit about what happened last night. I have to tell you this story. Um, and it is related to my portion control masterclass registration that actually just opened today. So I don't have too long to chat with you because I actually have to get emails out. I promised my team a team email last week and that didn't happen. Sorry, team. I'm going to send it out today with important information, recognition, all that fun stuff, and of course, always a little bit of incentive and excitement. And then I also have to send an email to my customer list because you guys are waiting to get your hands on those links, I know, for our portion control masterclass. And so here's what's been happening is you know how much stuff I have going on in my life, right? So I do personal training and I do my classes. I teach classes. I'm at the gym. I'm trying to raise funds right now for Relay for Life for our gym team. And on top of that, we have the kids stuff all the time. I'm trying to build my business at home and all the other things that come up. On Wednesday, I'm going to go be the mystery reader in JJ's class. He has noticed that I went into Jackson's like a month ago, and so I'm finally going into JJ's. And so with all this stuff, at the end of the day, I'm also trying to get in my masterclass certification videos. And I find that they're best for me to watch them at night. I know my friend Dawn, she watches them first thing in the morning. That's when her brain is fresh. But hey, Sue, but I am a night owl and I get up early too. So my body, from all the good stuff that I've been doing for it, it functions much better than it used to. I used to need 8 to 9 hours of sleep, and now I'm good with 6 to 7. Plus, I'm just so excited all the time about what I'm learning that it's so hard for me to shut my brain off. Do you guys ever feel that way? That you just can't shut your brain off because you're excited? So last night, JJ came in, I don't know, probably around 10 o'clock. He couldn't sleep. First, he was whining at 9:30 that Jay and I, that our TV was too loud. So I turned it down. I said, well, let's shut the door. And then he came back and he said, I still can't sleep. And so I said, all right, fine. Like, sit down, watch TV with me. So we're watching Impractical Jokers, which is not necessarily meant for 7, 8-year-olds. He's going to be 8 in less than a month. And so at some point I said, all right, because I was working on my computer, Jay had fallen asleep. So, or actually I did all my business on my phone last night because I was too lazy to get my computer, but that was working out. So I said, well, let's watch some of my videos for my nutrition certification since you're here. And so last night's videos, which as one of my masterclass participants, you would get your own set of videos. And then I have videos on top of that I watch, that I learn how to coach you. And I learned so much extra information. Honestly, after watching this video last night on the tour around the grocery store, which I've seen those kinds of things before, I've watched documentaries, but sometimes, and you got to tell me if you agree, let's say your mom tells you something over and over and over, or your best friend tells you something over and over, and you just aren't really listening. But then somebody else who you know and trust says the same thing, and you're like, oh, I got to change up what I'm doing. I felt that way watching this video on food shopping and a lot of the organic things that I'm not buying, the organic eggs and the chickens having free, not just like, it wasn't free range, because now I know there's a difference between free range and pasteurized, that the pasteurized chickens have a lot of space and that the free range chickens might just poke their head outside the coop. So, I learned so much from a woman who I absolutely trust. I'm taking a cruise with her this week. I love that she answers my questions personally when she is a celebrity among, 8,000 people in a group asking her questions daily. And I trust her. She's the one who started my weight loss journey, right? And so I just loved this video. And during the video, she was giving these great tips, which I will impart on you in my masterclass. Little things like when you're picking a yogurt, which I don't eat yogurt, but my boys do. And sometimes the yogurt, Jackson, okay, so Jackson gets yogurt at school for lunch. He buys it, right? Which at the beginning I was freaking out. I was like, if you're going to buy a freaking yogurt, I'll throw one in your bag. Stop spending money on yogurt. You're probably paying double. But then when I realized that he gets yogurt and a fruit and a vegetable and his milk, I was like, all right, well, that's too much effort for me. Forget it. You just buy it at school. You're good. And so sometimes Jackson will have yogurt for lunch. Sometimes they'll have it for breakfast. And sometimes they're having it as a treat these days and as an after school snack or even at night instead of ice cream, because they started buying the Chobani Flips, which some of them, and then there was these other ones, I don't know if they were called gimmies or something, like gimmies, I don't know. The ones with the little treat things, and then you throw it in the yogurt, and I had gone a lot towards the Greek yogurt. But here's the thing, is a lot of those yogurts out there, one, they don't have like the active probiotics and prebiotics that actually heal your gut like our shakes do. They also have a ton of sugar. And Jay stopped eating yogurt because he started to freak out. He's like, even my plain vanilla yogurt, the ShopRite brand, he's like, it's got too much sugar. I'm not eating it anymore. But her rule of thumb, so here's your tip. So write this down or put it on your phone so you don't forget when you're looking at the store later. 16 grams of sugar. Is that what she was saying? Or was she? No, she was saying that like yogurt can have like 7 or 8 grams of sugar in it. If that's what JJ was saying, he was like, yeah, our yogurts over there have 16 grams of sugar. So what actually, because he got up and he ran to the refrigerator. And that's what I love, is that he loves this stuff too. And so the things I'm learning, they're trickling down. It's influence. It's the things that we focus on. And if we're focusing on healthy things, then they start to hear it. So he ran, he looks at the yogurt. He goes, okay, so those little flip thingies, those are like 16 grams of sugar. He's like, I'll have those as a treat. Not every day. And then he said, but our little yogurt drinks only have 7 or 8 or something like that grams of sugar. So it was so interesting. And then I also want to tell you one more thing, and I probably shouldn't like share the whole course with you, but like when she was talking about veggie burgers, I loved when you never know. There's so many of them out there trying to get good taste. Jay eats a lot of the veggie burgers now. He's been coming away from the meats too. And so she said they have to have at least 16 grams of protein to be considered a protein on our plan. We're very much about balance, portions, being in equal balance, so that you're getting all of your nutrients so that you're staying energized. And so she said at least 16 grams of protein and no more than 15 grams of carbs. I think that's what she was saying, because otherwise you can have these burgers that are actually just a bunch of carbs and not really any protein. And then always look at the ingredients and see if they're things you recognize or not. But anyways, that's off the subject because I was so excited watching her walk around the grocery store. And I think maybe in my class I might walk around the grocery store too, because it's one thing sometimes to watch a course and you're watching her, but to listen to the person in your local store might be a little different. So anyways, I'm really excited because now I feel like I want to include JJ in my certification. I know for a long time he's been conscious and he knows, like, he'll look at a label, he'll look at what kind of sugar is in something that tastes sweet. Is it fake? Is it real? Is it corn syrup? Is it organic cane sugar? He's starting to pick up on these words and they hear me doing the videos. He likes to see how many calories. He likes to know all that stuff now. He wants to know what the protein and the carbs and is there fiber. She talked about cereals and showed, like, do you think Raisin Bran's healthy? It's got like 500 million grams of sugar in it for like a quarter cup, and so that's not a healthy cereal. It says bran, but that doesn't make it healthy. And so he went and he ran back to the kitchen. He looked at the Honey Bunches of Oats, which I think had 7 grams in 3/4 of a cup, which is really good. And it's the only cereal we buy. And so these things, they're just so awesome. And I love that he cares. And so we were up till like 11 o'clock watching these masterclass videos. And then I was like, okay, we got to go to bed. And he's like, what? And I was like, I know, but we got to go to bed. And so I'm looking. So as part of my course, when you purchase the course, and it's available now, and I will email you. If you're not on my email list, drop your email below. You get this amazing Ultimate Portion Fix workbook, and we are going to work through the videos. You can see it says right here, video 23. This entire module is on family. And I love it. And it talks about how your approach to food not only affects your relationship with food, but your child's relationship with food as well. So this is a whole section of our course. It's stuff that we don't talk about enough. We're going to dive into what your relationship is with food, how you talk about your body, about how you can change the negative self-talk that you might have now and turn it into positive self-talk. And, and I teach kids fitness. I teach summer camp. I've taught middle school girls. I've taught high school girls. And right now I'm teaching kiddie kickboxing for kindergarten through fourth graders. And we always talk, and this because they can't do an hour of kickboxing. So I always try to mix other things in. And last week we talked about fruits and vegetables, and I think this week I can bring some of this into there too, and and just helping them understand that food is your energy and your fuel, and looking at yourself like a car and wanting it to run and last. Although they don't have cars yet, so maybe I'll talk about something else. But I think too is these habits that we have to not break with them. With us, we have to break them, but with the kids, we need to start them right. So it was really important for Jay and I that we never use junk food as a reward, because it's like an oxymoron. Like you're not you're not giving them a great thing when you're giving them junk food as a reward. That's just not how it works. So I try not to reward myself with food. We don't say like, great job on your report cards, you get a bunch of candy. We try to separate reward from the junk food. It doesn't mean we don't ever give our kids junk food. We just try not to create that tie between doing something good and rewarding yourself with a bunch of calories. Using food as comfort, same thing. Like, oh, you don't feel good? Should I get you some ice cream to make you feel better? Like, when you tell yourself that, you get in trouble, right? And that's the habits we're trying to break from ourselves. And then this is interesting too, is having them eating the same thing every day for lunch and breaking that habit, having them eat the same like chicken nuggets and corn and, brownies or whatever for dinner, but getting them used to varieties of foods because they need the different nutrients, same as us, because our food is just so messed up with the over cultivating and overpopulation and over processing and over pesticiding or whatever, and that. So we need to also be varying our food and the food sources and all that stuff. So here's also part of that module is this big questionnaire. So part of my class is actually going to be filling out these worksheets and really starting to not just eat what we feel like when we feel like, but getting that deeper sense of why. And I think that a lot of the struggles that we have with the psychology of food, they tend to go away when we can identify the issues, right? Another amazing thing with regards to the family in this program is it comes with 75 healthy lunch ideas for kids. There's a planner, so you can plan with your kids, get ideas for your kids. You can go shopping together with the kids. We even have in our fitness library, we have family fitness programs. We have a whole kids channel where they can do dance and cardio, and there's family programs where you have like a ball and everything's buddy work. Just great ways to get your family involved. And I think that it's really important because, as I said, I've taught so many kids, and I see the heavier ones, the ones who are obviously struggling already with food in kindergarten, first grade. It's very hard. And so that's why, if you've had these containers in your house, and you can like raise your hand if you have a set of like the portion control containers, but have you ever learned or thought that you can actually help your children learn portion control early on so that they're not struggling at our age with how to do this, how to just live life with eating normally. Like, that's our problem, is we don't really eat normally. And we are trying to correct ourselves now. But if you grow up and it's just the norm of knowing what normal portions are, which we are not served normal portions in a restaurant, but this is education that we're missing. There's so many things that we miss, that I just think it's really important. And this is such an amazing value here. It teaches you how to go grocery shopping with your kids, how to choose foods and cook together. So how to eat out, all kinds of great stuff. So I got to get going. I'm going to email my team. I'm going to email all my customers. If you're not on my customer email list, then I got to get you on there. If you need to know more about this program and everything that comes in it, and when my masterclass starts, and how many spots are available, then ask me below to join my info group. The information that once you see what this is, I think you're going to see the value in it, and that maybe this has been a huge thing that's been missing for you. I'm already just so excited that I jumped on board. I have at least 3 or 4 coaches on my team that purchased this today, and are also getting certified to teach it because they saw the value in learning the nutrition and knowing what we're eating and knowing the psychology behind it too, and how to gain control and feel empowered. And for me, the next best thing to feeling empowered in my fitness and nutrition is to empower others. It's such a great feeling. So I can't wait to start working with you guys. Get on it, right? I only have 21 spots in my first masterclass, and they're filling up. So get on it, and I can't wait to chat with you. Message me if you prefer. Okay? All right.